This is the garden party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The garden party.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Garden Party on a special Tuesday edition of the Garden Party. As you can see, it is just me and my good buddy, the plant prof, Vikram Baliga. What's going on, Vikram? How you doing, buddy?
I am so happy the semester is over. I turned in final grades, like final grades this weekend, and I've spent the past 2 days actually trying to remember like what I do at work. Like I've been at work doing things. I just, um, I built
It's
a desk
weird, man.
today. I
Ooh,
recorded a TV spot yesterday for the
nice, man.
local news. What else have I done this week? Answered emails, but just trying to get caught up a little bit.
That's what like the last couple weeks of December is really good for. Like I'm like making a list of everything I want to do over like the 2 weeks because like come January, it's balls to the wall. Like I've got like 3 or 4 different conferences in January, like
Oh,
between Mobile, Alabama, Denton, like just trade shows. There's when you're dealing with distributors, they buy for the spring and they buy for the fall, so you got to be there. Yeah,
yep.
it's a lot. I love it, but it's a lot. So I'm getting as much done around the house as I can. Hopefully, my bathroom remodeled before January. So Vikram is here with me tonight. Vikram, if y'all don't know, is the plant prof. You can find him on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. And he doesn't do a whole lot of like hands-on gardening stuff, which he should because he does do that. But he does more like reaction videos to like crazy 5-minute craft videos. And so I thought it would be awesome to kind of mix it up tonight. And I had the good idea to go and I went over to TikTok. Who here is, if y'all are in the chat, do y'all ever go to the TikTok search page and look for garden hack videos? So I know Vikram does because that's where he finds his material.
Yeah, that or
But
people just like abuse me with them, send them to me.
yes, I am one of those people who sends them
Oh, I
to you.
know. I'm aware.
But we should but I figured tonight together, me and Vikram could go through some of these and react to them and kind of talk about it. So because there's so many, I don't know, Vikram, you want to talk about like there's so much information out there and it's not all good information, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like some of the more sensational stuff like does really well because it's insane, it's insane. Um, but there's so much like bad gardening content out there. And I kind of put it in like two categories. You've got like 5-minute crafts over here, which is like should be obviously just cuckoo bananas, right? Like it's not always people like believe some of that stuff, but like it should be. And then you've got some of the stuff that's like plausible. It's presented like good information. Um, and then it's just nonsense still. So
Yeah.
there's a mix. And then there's some really good content out there too. But I think from what I've seen, some of the like really terrible like plant hacks and misinformation tends to do really well for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, like the most outlandish, and I know people that like I don't know if it's called like landmines or what, but like in a video they'll purposely do something like they'll leave their fly unzipped, or they'll have something going backwards so that you comment on the video and it gets traction because the comments go nuts. And so I wonder if like some of these 5-minute hacks are literally just designed to get people to comment and like say that's crazy so that it
Yeah,
picks up the algorithm. I'm sure that's what it is.
I think so too. It's just an engagement farm,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, but
Yeah, and I went through some of these ahead of time, and there's some people that I know on here, and I figure we go through and check some of this out. So this first one, let's see,
Sweep up,
New gardeners.
look, don't miss out on this sale because
not that.
sweep up those hair clippings and put them in the garden. Yes, I'm totally serious. Mixing hair into your soil actually adds nitrogen back into your soil.
So first off, is that true? Is that true, Vikram?
to a certain extent, maybe. Like it's organic material, right? So there's some stuff in it. Um, so yeah, you could technically compost it or put it in the soil, but it's not like immediate, you know.
Right. But It's like I always tell people about like coffee grounds and like
Mhm.
eggshells. Like I don't think it has a negative effect, but is it can have an immediate effect? I mean, it's carbonaceous material. It's going to break down at some point and feed your soil. I mean, yeah, it's better than like sending it to the landfill. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
anything's better than that. But like, I don't know. I guess maybe the terminology hack gets overused nowadays. Is that what? Maybe that's what it is.
I think so. I think, like, some of it is like, this is a great garden hack, and it's really just, like, compost stuff. So
Yeah.
many of these, like, there's so many of these that if you really, like, boil them down, it's like, we're composting a thing or we're planting a seed for a thing. Like, those are kinda like the 2 camps that so much of this stuff falls into.
Right. And someone over in the comments says we use hair clippings as a deer deterrent.
Oh, that's interesting. I
That's interesting. I
you
wonder
know,
if it's
in
just
some
it's the human smell that wards them off a little bit.
I guess so, it makes some sense, some of it probably depends on how scared they are of humans,
Right.
uh, but
It's
if
like New
they're
Jersey where they're eating out of your trash cans, they probably don't care, you know?
yeah, right, yeah, they probably don't care so much.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought, I've never heard of doing that, but, like, I guess it makes sense, like, anytime you can add a scent to something that'll keep, like, a prey animal away, I guess it's not unreasonable.
Yeah. No, for sure. Let's see. This one made me laugh my ass off, so I'm gonna play this one.
When you're burying a dead body in your garden, remember, cover it in native endangered plants, so it's illegal to dig it up. Like and follow for more gardening tips like this.
See, that's the kind of stuff I like. Like
Love that.
that is amazing. This guy, I'm gonna give him a shout out because is a view from
Sweep up
is a
those hair
view from the
clippings
front
and
porch.
put them in the
Let's see. View from I'm gonna give him a shout out. View from the potting bench. I'm gonna give him a follow because that
Oh,
is
let me
really
see if I
funny.
follow him, 'cause that's pretty great.
Yeah,
You
I love stuff like that. Like that's hilarious.
I just followed him too, that's pretty awesome.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, here, so this is one of your favorite content creators right here, Vikram.
Oh, yeah, great.
5 minute crafts. Here we go. Oh shoot. So plastic cup on the roses.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It's locking
So,
in. Okay, I'll
uh,
pause. I'll pause. Oh my god. Okay, here we go.
the
Here we go.
Orbeez, because we're not, like, comprised enough of microplastics at this
Well,
point.
oh my god. So you don't know. You don't know, right? Oh, okay. So it was a couple Christmases ago, and all my nieces and nephews had those Orbeez guns. They're shooting balls everywhere, right?
Uh-huh,
And I was getting kind of pissed off because I was like, man, they're shooting this stuff like all around the house, is going in the grass. Like that's got to be all plastic and like going like leaching
yeah.
toxins in the ground. I did like a little bit of research. Orbeez are biodegradable.
Oh, that's cool.
Orbeez were actually originally designed as to go into pots and absorb water in the soil and release it. So Orbeez actually aren't that bad. At least they're in the research I did. Orbeez are actually not that bad.
Interesting, okay. 'Cause, yeah,
Yeah.
I thought they
So,
were just little plastic, like paintballs
right.
almost, right? Like
Yeah. They don't burst. They just kind of absorb and then
right.
shrink. I mean, don't somebody if you're in the comments, fact check that because I definitely
That's
was.
crazy.
I was kind of aggravated about that. But this video gets better. This video gets better.
Okay. Oh,
So you
no.
plant the roses on
Okay.
top of
Well,
the
they didn't cover
Orbeez.
those. Oh my god.
So
I hate these
so
people, dude. Like,
so explain the science behind how they get so like how do you actually get a dyed rose like for I know how but explain to folks how they actually would get a dyed rose.
so you can dye a rose, right? Or a carnation or a chrysanthemum, and they'll cut them and put them in, like, colored water, and it has to be, like, very heavily dyed because it's, the way it pulls it up. And, yeah, you can dye a flower different colors, but Orbeez, they're not gonna do that, for one thing. And I'm pretty sure pulling it up through the roots, there's enough like filtration through the plant that it's not gonna work. I think it has to go directly up the stem into the flower.
Yeah, that one's pretty out there. Okay, so this is a bunch of clips about roses. So the first one was putting the cups on there to keep your roses from getting, I guess, wet.
I guess.
Um, the second one was putting Orbeez under there, and this is so it looks like they're cutting the top of a rose with the X-Acto knife. This TikTok, oh god, This TikTok this TikTok desktop app is really weird. So if I move my mouse too far north or top or south, it
Oh, really? It scrolls
yeah. So that's the Orbeez one,
or
and
it dies them?
this one's gonna die. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So this one they're cutting
What are they going to air layer it?
rice.
I'm going to say no to the rice.
Why
Uh,
rice?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
Like,
God, no! I don't know,
yeah,
man. I
yeah.
don't
No,
know
air,
about that.
so air layering does work. Like, that's a real thing. I'm going to say no to the rice. Um, I think that's
Why?
just going to rot and smell terrible. And one of the things, like, whenever we're doing some of these things where we're trying to get them to um, grow roots or whatever, mold and bacteria are not your friend. Like, they're
Yes.
gonna, kill your young roots. They're gonna make that process a lot worse. So you could use soil. You could use like sphagnum moss or coconut coir or something like that, just to retain water. But you really don't want a whole lot of biological material in there because it can grow mold. It can attract fungus and fungus gnats and different things. And like, I don't know, man. I think there's about 1,000 different ways to do that, and rice should not be one of them.
That's clickbait. And we got Bowtie over here. Thanks, Bowtie. So yes, Orbeez are technically biodegradable as they are made from sodium polyacrylate,
Okay.
but they break down very slowly, taking months, potentially years to break down, releasing microplastics and potentially harmful acrylamides, making them environmentally concerned despite claims of being
Hmm,
eco-friendly. They decompose faster and with sunlight and bacteria, but are not rapidly biodegradable like organic material.
that's interesting. And that's
Huh.
actually a good conversation about a lot of things that are marketed as biodegradable. Like, it can be technically true where it'll biodegrade, but sometimes if you read the fine print on some products, it'll say like you need to do it in a specific way for it to be biodegradable, or it has to go through a specific process, or you have to add something to it for it to actually biodegrade. Um, And so you have to be careful with that because, again, it's one of those things that if it's technically true, they can put it on the label.
Right.
Um, but with, an asterisk. So that's an interesting comment about Orbeez, because there's a lot of things that way. I'm trying to remember what specific thing. It was like some biodegradable plastics. Like, I think they make like biodegradable like forks and knives and plasticware and things like that.
Yeah.
And some of them are great. Like, I've read up on this a little bit, and some of them you can just like throw in your compost and they'll break down.
Yeah.
Um,
Salada uses only like biodegradable stuff. I saw last time I was there.
which is cool. I love that. But then
Yeah.
some of them are like you have to put it in this special kind of thing, or special kind of like additive to break some of the stuff down. And
Yeah.
so, like, so much of it's marketing.
Like a
And
solvent or something like that to like kind of break it down. Yeah.
yeah, and so, like, I don't know. But that is interesting. So sodium polyacrylate's like the same stuff that's in a diaper that makes it super absorbent.
Which makes
And
sense.
yeah, and there's some other products out there. I don't want to like call out any brand names, but some things you can like add to your soil that increase the water holding. And we did some research on that actually, on turf grass,
Yes.
and we looked at top dressing with it. We looked at applying it under sod, like putting some of that stuff down and sodding. And some of it works pretty well. In all
Yeah.
honesty, we got like longer green color, like they looked good. But we actually found some of the biologicals that increase like the overall health and fitness of the plant actually work better than things that physically retain water in the soil.
Wow.
So that's interesting. So like making your plant healthier in a lot of ways is better at making them more water conservative and stretching out whatever water you have, than actually some soil additives, which I thought was an interesting result.
Yeah, this company, this is better known company over in San Antonio. He had sent me some stuff, and it was completely, it was like vegan and like biodegradable, and it was all plant based. I forget what it was called, but he had a product that you would mix with worm castings. So it come
Oh
with a
yeah,
thing of worm. It come with a thing of worm castings, and it had the little absorbent little beads. You mix it in with the worm castings, and then add it to the plant when you replant it. It's supposed to help
yeah.
it recover a little bit faster. Forget the name of the company though. They sent me some a while back though.
We
Really
found
cool stuff.
one, and I can't remember now. It's like Revive. Yeah, there's a product called Revive. There's a granular one that was like some absorbent polymer, but it was mixed in with like dehydrated poultry waste and a couple of other things. It was
Hmm.
actually great. Like it was great
Wow.
on turf grass. We were doing some of this research. Gosh, it's been several years. But we put it down, we watered it, it rained, and then we had no irrigation for like 6 weeks on this turf grass. And some of that stuff with a couple of these products, especially the ones that had some like extra nitrogen, some poultry waste, some biologicals, stayed green like more than a week longer than some of the
Wow.
other treatments, which like that's a pretty substantial result in my opinion.
Oh yeah. That's really interesting. Well, and people get freaked out by, words like acrylides and
Hmm.
'cause I was listening to it was a clip actually, and it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he was doing he was talking about glyphosate,
Hmm.
and I forget what you'll probably know it. It's a term where like at which level, like at which amount will it kill a person? Like,
Hmm.
and he was saying that people freak out about like the buzzwords like glyphosate. But he was saying like things that have a higher that level are like things like salt and things
Hmm.
there's things that are much more dangerous. Oh, I know what it was. It was Ben and Jerry's. It was Ben and Jerry's ice cream. They found a trace amount of glyphosate in the ice
Oh,
cream,
interesting.
and so they discontinued some flavor, and it redid the formula or whatever. But they said you would have had to eat 30,000 pints of Ben and Jerry's to kill you, and by then you would have died from like sucralose.
Hmm.
It's such a small level. It's such a weird way to do it. To think about it, it's just those buzzwords freak people out.
Yeah, and there's also like a conversation to be had about like acute toxicity versus chronic toxicity. So like one of the conversations around stuff like glyphosate and some of these other ag chemicals is some of them will absolutely like kill you dead quick. Like if you get
Right.
too big of a dose.
Like
But
first
you know,
exposure and stuff like that.
right. But like there's, you know, uh safety protocols for that, right? We have best management practices. We have safety gear that we wear. People hedge against that. And usually, when somebody gets like a big dose of something, not to blame someone for doing something wrong, but a lot of times they're just not following the label, following the instructions, not being careful with it, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's like a worker protection thing. Like they don't get the training they need. They don't get, and they're just like, oh, go spray this thing. And then they get a big dose of something and it causes problems. I think one of the big conversations is like over a human lifetime, over several human lifetimes, like what does this do in the environment?
Yeah.
Um, but there's so much stuff that like you said, you eat enough salt over a lifetime and you're in trouble. And
Yeah.
so like I think the dose makes the poison is so what you're talking about is what they call it LD 50,
That's
a
it. Yeah.
lethal dose 50. So in 50% of a population, like what will actually kill them off, like what rate? Um, but the way they do some of those tests, like you'll see, so a big one, and I think we've gotten away from some of the funny stuff, but it's actually good conversation.
Oh yeah. No, I
Uh,
love this.
a big one you'll hear them talk about is like diet soda, right? The aspartame and diet soda will kill you dead. But they
Or
were
causes
feeding,
MS or whatever.
lab rats like their body weight in aspartame and some of these things, right? They were
Yeah.
doses that were like orders of magnitude higher than what you'd get if you drank nothing but soda all day, every day,
Right.
nothing but diet
Right.
soda. And so, like, one of the things that I think keeps me in a job, and a lot of us like science communicator people, is talking about this. Like, here's what that study really means. Like, here's how it's really tested because, scientists confirm that diet soda causes cancer is a really catchy headline. And like, that's easy for, a media outlet or someone who's trying whatever. Uh, and actually kind of like these videos, like it's a catchy, like
Yep.
punchy thing that'll get people to watch and react and fight and all that.
It gets
Um,
them clicks, and they can sell those clicks to the advertisers, and that's how they make money.
Right. And so like a punchy headline is going to get a lot of traction when the fact is you really read some of these studies and like pull them apart. It's like, oh, well, yeah, if I drank 15 gallons of Diet Coke a day for the next 10 years, then okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But so I think it is nuance is hard on the internet, which is why I'm glad we get to like do this and talk for a long time instead of
Yeah.
having to do it in a 60-second video. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
It's important to talk about stuff like this. It really is.
but then 5 Minute Crafts gets 30 million followers across platforms, and which is
Yeah.
just bonkers to me.
And Slovenia or wherever they are. Do we ever find out where they're from?
It's Eastern Bloc somewhere. It's like a Russian or something company.
Yeah.
But
It's
they have products at Walmart now. Did you know that? You
what?
can buy like 5 Minute Crafts activity kits at Walmart.
Oh
And
God.
every time I see them, I die a little inside.
My God.
It's ridiculous.
Let's see how this video finishes out. We went off a little bit, but I'm sure
Yeah, sorry
everybody's
about
cool
that.
with it. No, I think they're cool with it. Let's see the roses. They're snipping the heads off these roses.
Okay. And then
The banana.
freaking bananas, man. I swear.
Okay.
It's always the banana.
People always talk about banana water and all this nasty stuff. Like, what is the thought process of like sticking a rose in a banana? Like,
Okay. So if we're being very honest, if you really drill into this, a lot of 5 Minute Crafts is like thinly veiled fetish content. And it's true, like that is 100% true.
if they're doing it with their feet, it would confirm it even more.
Well, and like the ones where they'll like squish a banana into something, and I'm just like, oh my God, you have to stop. There's a very specific clientele for some of this stuff.
Yes.
But again, it's like, okay, again, I'm not gonna say his name because he has a lot of followers. But white t-shirt guy.
We're gonna get
Are we
him.
gonna get there? Okay.
Yes, yeah, he's
We'll
coming
get
up.
there. That man loves his banana water for plants, and everyone's like, oh, bananas will throw it in the compost. What do you want?
How much potassium do you think is in a banana? Like, it would take, like, the thought process makes sense. Like, potassium is overall, it's the NPK, it's like overall plant health. I mean, it helps with like, bringing stuff back. I mean, but the nastiness you're going to be dealing with a banana peels soaking in water, fermenting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. It's just so nasty.
It's gross.
No. Let's see what happens with let's see what this one. I'm not watching that one. We can't watch that one on YouTube. This one.
Yeah, there's always a few out there, aren't there?
Here is your buddy.
He's like my Wario.
Dissolve them in some water.
Let's start it over.
Did you know if you grab 5 matchsticks and dissolve them in some water? Did you know if you grab 5 matchsticks and dissolve them in some water? You can use this water to speed up the growth of your seedlings. The phosphorus.
Again, that is plausible, right? It's one of those things that sounds really good. It sounds really good.
It goes back to NPK. NPK, your nitrogen is for leafy growth, your phosphorus is for flowers and rooting, and then your potassium is for the blooms. I mean, or the potassium is for like overall plant. Here's everything, right? So what he's saying makes sense.
It makes sense. It's plausible enough. And a lot of stuff like the banana water, or he'll do but the way he does it is he'll like cut up banana peels and throw them in hot water for like 20 minutes. And even says that, like, leave them in there for 20 minutes and then water your plants. And like, that's how you get gnats. If you're trying to farm fruit flies, like, go for it. But like, so there are ways, and I've seen a couple actually really interesting papers, and they literally call this fermented plant juice, where essentially they're making humic acid, right? They're making compost tea. And so you can take that stuff, you can take weeds out of your garden and put it in water and ferment it for a while and then use that. And that's actually a great fertilizer. But the way that a lot of this is sold, like dissolve match heads in water or dunk your banana peels, and it's like LaCroix, it's like the LaCroix of fertilizer, right? Like it was stored near some strawberries and they someone in the other room whispers the word strawberry while you're drinking it.
Right.
And
So much more efficient ways of getting phosphorus.
yeah, like this whole thing is like people are just scared of chemical fertilizers. Like
Like,
there's nothing
what do you
wrong
think?
with that
What do
stuff.
you think? What do you think a match head is? It's
Everything
chemicals.
and
Everything's chemicals. Yes.
everything is chemicals. And by the time the plant takes it up, it cannot tell the difference. Like
No.
biologically, the plant only takes up certain forms of different nutrients. And whether that was like, your banana peels or leaf clippings or like your neighbor's annoying cat, whatever it was, by the time it's broken down enough for the plant to take it up, the plant
Yeah.
doesn't know. The plant doesn't care.
It doesn't care whether it's synthetic or organic. It doesn't care as
No.
long as it's there, as long as it's bioavailable and they need it.
And like at a large scale, organic sources of fertilizer, things like that, can and does like improve soil health. It does do good things for the ecosystem, but like there's nothing wrong with using a synthetic fertilizer, especially in a potted plant, right? Especially in your house, or if you're growing in a greenhouse and all of that. Um, you know, like those things, we invented those things for a reason. We use those things for a reason because they work, because you don't have to, shovel a whole bunch of manure into your greenhouse or into your kitchen.
Yeah.
Your plants can still be happy.
No, for sure. Let's see what he's got next. Let's see. I don't want to harp on this guy too much. Let's see some good
Like
ones.
of all the people out there, like I've posted actually reactions to a couple of his videos in the past, and people got like mad about him. 5-minute
Yes.
crafts, I don't get any pushback usually.
Right. For sure.
But like that guy has enough of a following, and his stuff is like plausible enough that people really buy into it. And like he sold books, he has millions of followers, and most of his videos, like I said earlier, like, did you know that the seeds in a cucumber will grow into a cucumber plant? It's like, yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's not crazy at all. That's not crazy at all. Hey, who's this guy? Let's see. I know this guy right here. This is Shallow Farms.
If this is your year to start gardening,
This is the
Here's 5 super quick garden hacks that are kind of silly, but they actually work. Dirt on your fingernails is a sign you're a true gardener and you ain't afraid of no hard work. But if you don't want to look like Caleb Williams on a football field, rub your fingernails on a bar of soap before you go digging in the dirt. And then once you're done picking carrots, just wash it off. If you're dealing
So yeah,
that would work probably.
yeah. I mean, I've never done that. Yeah. I guess that's a hack.
Yeah, I guess that's not bad. I mean, it would like plug up the space under your fingernails and you can just wash it later. That's not bad.
And when you go to wash your hands, you already have soap.
Yeah.
I guess
I don't get too worked up
the
about
best
dirt.
hack.
Yeah,
that's the
that was
best.
pretty good.
Like, that's an actual like hack. Like by definition, that's a hack. So
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
with poor pollination in your maters, and grab yourself an electronic vibrating toothbrush and use it to knock off the pollen on these flowers so that there's more pollen around here than perverts at a Sabrina Carpenter concert.
I like Noah.
I love him, dude.
He's good.
And I will say on record, I've been hearing the name Sabrina Carpenter, and I could not name one song until I had to look it up. Yeah, that espresso song is cool. I mean, it sounds good. Sidebar, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, it is
it's
absolute. It's just rubbish. It's just like it's absolute like. I mean, it's a nothing. It's so nothing. But buzz pollination. So Des has a little hydroponic little growing thing in her kitchen, and she had tomatoes, and she had a little vibrating toothbrush, and she was going around. Tomatoes usually use buzz pollination from bees, so that's a real thing.
Yep, that's a real thing, and it's such a cool relationship between like bees and some plants. Like the plants can sort of tell what kind of bee is coming, and they'll release different like amounts of nectar and different things.
Really?
So they've done some studies with different brands. It's so funny. Like scientists are just like, I don't know, like, let's try it. They bought a whole bunch of brands of electric toothbrushes, and they would go in the greenhouse and they had like identical tomato plants, or they did with tomatoes and they did with something else. I don't remember what the other one was.
Maybe
and
cucumbers or peppers.
Yeah, maybe. and they would like buzz pollinate them, and then they would measure how much pollen was released and how much nectar was released. And depending on like different toothbrushes, the plants would react differently. And then they sort of looked at what the wing patterns of different bees look like. And it was like if it was a big insect, like a bumblebee, they would release a lot of nectar because the bumblebees don't spend a lot of time at a flower unless there's like a large amount of nectar available.
Interesting.
And if it was like a small sweat bee, they kind of take a little. So it's really interesting how much communication kind of happens around us that we just are completely unaware of.
That is so interesting. Yeah, I would assume it'd have to be tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, just like that, because those are like the most commonly like grown indoors
Yeah.
in like greenhouses. I would think. Let's see what else he's got.
Tomatoes, if you want to keep them fresh longer and avoid moisture loss, don't set them up like this. Put them upside down so that this scar stem doesn't get any air, and you'll prevent it from rotting. It's always a
I've never really paid much attention to that.
I haven't either. I guess it makes sense, right? Because that's that cut end where you cut it off the plant is where most stuff is going to get in, and it's going to lose moisture the fastest. So if you set that down, maybe it kind of seals it off. I actually don't know about that one. That's interesting.
I've never even thought about that once. I usually bring them in when they start to turn, so they'll ripen on the window, and I don't lose them to the mockingbirds. And
Yeah.
I'll end up like rotating them like top and bottom, like so the bottom gets a little more. But I never had paid much attention to that.
And there is something to it, like with melons, like when you harvest watermelons or whatever, you have to, and it's actually if you look in some of the safety stuff from the FDA and the USDA, you have to wash it with water that is close to the same temperature as the melon, and that's weird. Because if the water's too hot or too cold, it can get like sucked into the cut stem. And then it can take, because you've got a big open spot, and that cucumber specifically, or that watermelon or cantaloupe or whatever, like they'll keep pulling water. And so like if you cut it and you put cold water on it, like especially like way too cold water, it'll get sucked in, and then it can take like pathogens and stuff. And so sometimes you'll see like there were some videos going around a couple years ago of watermelons like exploding on people's counters. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't.
So there was this whole thing of like they would blow up, or someone would like stick a thumb through them and it would like shoot liquid out of it. And they were blaming it on all kinds of stuff, all these conspiracy theories. It was just a hot summer, and it was hot
Bringing
at
them
all
indoors.
points. Yeah, and it was hot at all points of the supply chain. So normally I know they grow them in Georgia and it's hot there every summer. Like that was the argument a lot of people made. But then they would ship them in trucks into the Northeast where it's not usually 100 degrees, and they would put them in different places. And so they were lasting a lot less time. But they ferment in the field all the time. Like,
yeah, they get
like
nasty out in the
watermelons,
fields.
they get gross. Or like, I've talked to some friends that work at grocery stores, and like the watermelons down at the bottom of the bin, they like blow up all the time. They ferment and they'll leak, and
Especially all the pressure of the weight and everything, I'm sure. Yeah.
And so like some of it is just you got to be careful with how you manage it post harvest. Make sure it's stored correctly and that you bring it down to temperature slowly and all of those things.
That's a really good point.
good idea to crack open a cold one in the garden, not for you, but for the slugs. See, if you fill up a cup like this and bury it in the soil, the slugs are attracted to the yeast. They'll crawl in, drown in their sorrows, and die. Basil.
That one's definitely true, because Des was like, she did a video where it worked really well, and she was like heartbroken, and all the slugs and stuff. She got a bunch of like negative feedback for like killing a bunch of slugs and snails. Like, come on, man! Like,
it caused so much damage in the garden. Like,
I heard it works for roly-polies too.
I can see that. Yeah,
I've had a huge increase in roly-poly population, and they don't do that much damage, like for me specifically, but I know they can. So I don't know, but yeah, I know that. I mean, so far, all of his are pretty plausible.
Pretty good, yeah.
Is a natural deterrent of skeeters. So if you're working late in the garden in the evening, them skeeters come out, rub some basil leaves on your arm, and it'll keep them from biting you. Follow for more.
Why is he saying Basil like that?
I
He's
think
doing
he's
that.
doing. Okay, you were talking about landmines. I think that's what he's doing.
Yes, yes. Well, it's so funny because him and Froberg do a lot of the same stuff, and like not a lot of the same stuff, but they're buddies, and so they help
Mhm.
each other out with some things. And like Tyler's had me like stand in the background and do stupid stuff while he's doing it in a video before, like so people come like, who's that weirdo in the back? You know, like
That's
that's
funny.
definitely a thing. That's definitely a thing. But so far, I mean, he's probably had some of the best hacks.
I agree. Basil.
Let's see, Basil. I love that. Let's see. Let's go down here. I love this idea. Let's just do, let's see, gardening hacks. Oh, here we go.
Oh, there's another one.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know why you would need to put a water bottle on your onions, but okay.
And this is hilarious. I mean, like,
Yeah. Oh, come on.
this is like little 2-second things. Like, what is this? It's like a graft.
I think they're trying to graft something in there. But like, look, it's all dried out and dead. Like, for one, even if that was real, that graft is never going to take.
Yeah. Let's see. This is stupid.
So,
I mean, there's actual machines where
that's
they.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But this right here, this graft.
This is dumb. Yeah. There's like, seriously. Yeah. No, that's never gonna. That would never work.
Well, it's not going to stand up on its own either. Like,
No.
let's see the results of it. No,
That's so dumb.
that's not real. That's AI.
No. It's either AI or they just like whittled that down somehow. But I bet it's AI. That's so
And
dumb.
look at the bark.
Yeah,
That bark doesn't. That looks like a cheese ball.
it does.
Like that doesn't exist in nature.
There's no way. That's so dumb.
Oh my god. Let's see. Garbage bag.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
That hack was just how to open a garbage bag.
So
Yeah.
I have seen this. The coals would not stay hot enough to make a clean
No.
hole like that. I've seen where people will take they put a coffee can on the end of like a torch.
Oh yeah.
Or like a what do you call it? Bud pruner, bud
Uh-huh.
burners, whatever. And do that. But I've never seen like this. I don't think the coals would have to be really hot to
Roll
make
hot.
that clean of a hole.
But
This
I
is
think conceptually though, that's not crazy.
for sure. It would take a long time. You would have to fill that thing complete with coals and like keep something blowing on it to make it really freaking hot to have it like consistently making those clean holes, I would think.
Yeah.
So this is a coconut they cracked open. They're scooping.
All right.
Okay, making a planter out of coconut shell is not crazy.
No, it's fine. Oh, come on. So
but why? But why?
That's the question I have so often watching these is like, yeah, fine. But like, what are we doing here?
That's gonna have no drainage too, so it's just gonna fill with water and it's gonna turn nastier than hell. It's gonna be so gross. And watch it becomes a coconut. That's clearly like that's the same day. That was the same day.
They do, yeah, right. And so like air layering's a real thing. You can do it. It's like it works, but like I don't know. It's way better. The way that I found that works great is you just pack some soil around your cut spot and then wrap it with plastic or whatever and zip tie it on both ends, and that works perfectly fine.
Yeah. This is bud grafting or
we're gonna do another dumb graft. That's not even the same plant. I don't even think that's a real plant.
There's no way.
No.
It's like a piece of holly or something with
like
masking tape on it.
And then they just put masking tape on like another plant, and they're like, "Look, it works."
Oh my god, dude. Okay, they're drilling holes through piece of PVC pipe.
Lawn spring. I mean, okay, I guess that would. I mean, yeah, that would work okay. But again, like,
but why?
But why?
Oh,
adjustable intensity.
oh, wait, and they were tightening the screws and loosening the screws.
I don't think that would work like that.
I don't think that would work either. So she is raking her grass clippings. Okay.
Okay, they've got snails.
There's some weird, like, what?
Yeah,
So
the
is the
snails.
thought that the snail would not touch the cardboard?
I think that's the thought, and that the snail would absolutely not care about the cardboard.
It would eat the cardboard. Egg.
Oh God, that
Oh.
okay. So that's gross. A close second behind the bananas are the eggs for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, like just period. Please don't crack eggs into your house plants or in your garden, but especially not your house plants, because oh my God.
There was someone that I used to have seen some of these videos, and people would plant their tomatoes and they'd plant an egg at the bottom. You've seen
I've
them
seen that
too,
too.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like people if they throw aspirin down in the hole, like when they plant their tomatoes. I've seen the video where they've cracked the egg, and I've seen the video where they put the whole egg at the bottom of the hole. Like,
You can do like subplanting composting, and I've seen people do that, and that actually is like a common technique in some cultures, but they're burying stuff like 6, 8, 10 inches below their plants, and
like
so they're
like
burying
like
it deep.
like fish scraps and stuff like that.
Fish scraps, like meat products, especially so like varmints can't get at them. And then yeah, eggs and different things like that, but they're burying them deep, and then there's a soil barrier, and then the plants go on top of that. So one, you don't get any like direct cross contamination or anything. And then that stuff breaks down, and yeah, it'll add nutrients to the soil eventually. But like yeah, just don't crack eggs into your planting holes. I'm just gonna put a period on that one. Just don't do the thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And see the eggs growing off the tree.
Yeah, fantastic.
So this looks like it's going to be an onion drying rack. Wait. Okay,
Yeah,
I was on board when they had like, you're just going to dry their onions.
Yeah, that's fine. In fact,
But
that's
why-
a great way to dry like onions and garlic.
But why would they?
I don't know. And like the crappy like AI or CGI they use on these is just getting more ridiculous.
It's insane, dude. Okay.
And
this is
again,
like-
a lot of times I'm just like, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why do we need to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's fine, I guess. It
I
looks kinda dumb.
don't think they would do really well sideways like that.
No, and it looks dumb. But
here we go. Here we go.
the matches. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out as a good rule of thumb. If 5-Minute Crafts agrees with you on how to do something, you're probably wrong about that thing.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not doing matches in my garden. It seems like a weird thing to do. I mean, if you're worried about chemicals and you're doing like made in China matchsticks, I mean, like,
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Like, I don't even know what's in a modern match head.
Right, because back in the day it might have been like
sulfur,
actual,
phosphorus.
but now it may be some like artificial, like weird thing.
Let's see what the Googles have to say.
Magoogles?
Potassium chlorate, sulfur, antimony sulfide, glass powder, and glue and starch. So you're really not going to get much of anything out of it.
No, not at all. Get you some Nelson Plant Foods made of food, you'd be good. Let's see what we can find here.
And in fact, actually, so that's interesting. So yeah, there's some potassium, but if you're after phosphorus, the red phosphorus is actually on the striking pad on the box so that they don't like catch on fire. And so like you strike them together and it causes that chemical reaction and friction that like, causes the match to go off. So you're actually not going to get any phosphorus at all. Maybe some potassium, but
that's hilarious. So yeah, make sure you shred up the striker as well.
Or just like you said, go buy some Nelson Plant Food.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Did you know if you grab 5 matchsticks, let's
Oh,
see.
see, they're doing it again.
He recycles a lot of his stuff too.
He does, which I can't say much this year. I've been just like,
Right. Why not throw the whole matchstick in there? Let it go in there.
it's a very specific kind of plant there.
Bonus, sprinkle some cinnamon on top of the soil for an extra boost.
I mean, no.
So the only thing I've been told, so I use cinnamon in the garden only like when I make like a cut, like on a plumeria or a desert rose.
And that's,
I sprinkle it on there and it helps to dry the wound a little faster. They say there's like antiseptic or whatever, fat things with cinnamon. I don't know if that's true or not, but it helps the wound heal up cleaner. And also cinnamon, when it's dry, if it's dry, it can deter ants because they'll inhale it as an asphyxiant. But once it's wet, it's no bueno.
Well, and I did read a paper about cinnamon, and like the real stuff, if you get like real genuine cinnamon,
Yes.
it can be somewhat antimicrobial. So like if you're doing propagation or taking cuttings or whatever, or sprinkling it on like a wound site, it can help with that. It dries it out, all that. But it's not going to boost anything. It's not adding any like nutrients to your soil. It's just your plant will smell kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean, and like you said, a lot of the cinnamon we get is not real cinnamon.
Right. Which is real disappointing.
It's very disappointing. Let's see. So banana water. I gotta bring it
Banana
back.
water. That looks
When
like
you eat a
cup
banana
urine.
and you get that last bite, you do this.
Okay.
No, don't throw it out. Instead, put it in a cup. Oh, I'm guessing was he on the Jimmy Fallon show?
Yes.
Good Lord. Yeah, add some water, add some hot water, and let it sit for 1 hour. The water is getting nutrified. Wait, Bella, what is that word?
Phosphorus kit. No, like it's not going to do anything in an hour. Like I can promise you.
It's got to ferment, right? It's got to like, I mean,
it can take a couple of weeks.
But even then, it's not doing much. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a long process. And again, like compost tea is great. But again, none of these are. I think what gets me about a lot of these is people are really attracted to the quick, like in an hour, I can have my own homemade fertilizer and not. But like if you think about nature and like how these natural processes work, nothing happens fast. Like that banana peel may sit out on a forest, like on a jungle floor for a month before it breaks down enough. And like nature's not in a hurry.
Yeah,
And
someone's gonna eat that banana peel before it breaks down, probably.
yeah, whether that's like again roly polies or something, like
Snails and slugs.
something's gonna break it down. And like I think a lot of times if you see any of these plant hacks and especially some of the fertilizer ones that are trying to sell you like we're gonna make this super quick, like be super suspicious of that because that's just not how nature works.
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
And if you want something quick, go buy a fertilizer. Like go to the store and buy some fertilizer. And don't let the word this one thing that this guy does that I really don't like is that he plays really hard on people being scared of chemicals. And so he's like, don't buy those toxic chemicals, don't do that, this and that. And
use these chemicals instead.
and I made a video about that one time. Like everything is chemicals. Like I am, you are, the peach you ate today is chemicals. And people are like, oh, you know what he meant. I'm like, I do know what he meant. He's just wrong.
Like, I do know what he meant. Do you know what he meant?
Yeah.
And it's weird that it's the guy from Hamilton doing these videos. Like he's
strange.
He's an actor. I mean, so he's like getting paid by some corporation or something after it. I did like him in House though.
Yeah.
So he's straining the banana water. I bet that must stink so freaking bad, dude.
Got to. I may have to run it again next year. I started an experiment one time in a series of videos where I tested a whole bunch of these, and our heater or our cooling system went out in the greenhouse I had those plants in, and like all my plants died after 2 or 3 weeks of messing with them. But I think this summer we have a growth chamber, and I don't think it's going to be used this spring. So I may run some of these experiments and like pick 5 or 6 different like plant hack fertilizers and test it versus just a couple of commercially available ones
Yeah.
and see what happens.
You should like make it put something like the cafeteria where like it's like a 5-gallon bucket and they put their banana peels in for banana peels for science.
For
you know?
science.
Oh, see. So this is some kind of saying do this part of your everyday routine. This is reduce food waste and keep your plants happy.
Yeah, but what
Banana
are you gonna
water
do with
is
the rest of that peel? He's gonna throw it away anyway.
poke a hole in the cap of the bottle. Okay.
Okay. Oh, he's making like a self-watering. I'm gonna guess this is like a self-watering thing.
So is the water gonna wick through the entire?
That's what it said. That's the
It's
idea.
it's just
It's just gonna go
dripping.
straight down. It'll just go straight down.
Yeah. So it's not actually wicking like
No, it's just
from.
dripping.
Yeah, it's not wicking from the cotton end to cotton end. Like it's just dripping down slowly.
Well, and also, like, that's like the worst way to water your plants. In a pinch, like if you're gone, okay, maybe. So some of those like self-watering bulbs and stuff you can buy, but all it does is water one spot. Like potting media, the water won't move laterally. You really have to saturate all of it. So
Yes.
like you may water a few of the roots, um, but really that's one of the worst ways. You would be better off if you were gone for a week to like dunk your pepper plant in the bathtub for 10 minutes, like completely submerge it, and then just let it dry out while you're gone. It would be way happier than you doing this.
Oh yeah. No, and this is indoors too, so like it looks nasty. That would not work out. I don't think it would work out very well. Let's see. There are people who do like the ice cube trick where they put ice cubes in their
Yeah,
plant. I don't necessarily know that's better because it's cold ass water melting too. Like
right.
that can
I mean,
shock the plant.
depends on what kind of plant to a certain extent. I had somebody ask me, the new segment I did was about Christmas trees, like fresh cut Christmas trees. And someone asked me, like, could I just fill my planter base up with ice? And I'm like, yeah, but it would be a lot easier just to pour water in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Someone used to. There was an old hack with Christmas trees where they said use Sprite instead of using water.
I've heard that. So it's just for the sugar is the like what they're after. Because you can buy like these Christmas tree water additive things, like they come in little packets, and it's just sucrose or some kind of sugar.
Because like when you buy your wife flowers or whatever, it usually comes in a little packet and you put it in the water. It's just like you said,
It's just sugar.
sucralose. Yeah.
Yeah, and quite frankly, like I was reading on actually the American Christmas Tree Association, so like they should know, right? They were saying just clean water is your best bet.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we bought our first real Christmas tree ever this year, and it's we've had those dehumidifiers going through our house because of the water damage and everything, and just sucking the water out of the Christmas tree,
Oh no,
out of the bottom. So we're not every day we're having to water the Christmas tree.
they'll pull a lot of water, like they really
Oh
will.
yeah. Oh yeah. So this. So
Uh,
this. Wait, what?
So he's gonna put that in some water, I bet. So
But
this one kind of
but the plant he showed
no, it was not
wasn't
right.
that was like a basil plant or something.
There was one where he was talking about growing mangoes, and sorry, I'm dying. He was talking about growing mangoes or avocados actually, and he was like trying to show the growth of it. So he just cut some leaves off of a chef Lara and stuck it in his avocado pit. And I was like, "You jerk, you're cheating."
That is not. Well, is that a lettuce?
It is, but it's not.
It's bolted. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, that's like a
interesting.
leaf lettuce or something instead of like that, you know, romaine heart there.
And so you don't have to do it in the water. You don't have to sit
You
it
can
in the
just stick it
water
in
to
soil.
root
Yeah,
because that will actually start to rot and the gnats and everything. Like the water will get nasty, nasty, nasty.
you'd have to
Um,
change it fairly regularly,
right.
but
Because
you
I
could
did it
just
with
stick that in a pot.
yeah, But like, because like with pineapples, like people like I've
Mhm.
taken the bud off a pineapple, the top of a pineapple, and instead of soaking it in water, I let it scab. I pulled some of the extra peels off, give it about an inch or
Mhm.
two, and then let it scab over, and then plant it in the soil rather than putting it in water because that water gets so gross. It gets so
Yeah.
nasty, really nasty. Yeah, but you can do
We
the same
so
thing with
we
like celery and everything like this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so this one's fine. Like this one will work. Um and it's kind of cool to watch. Like if nothing else, just to like show your kids how some of these things regrow and watch the roots grow. And I've just realized I could look at the comments here on StreamYard too.
Oh yeah,
Uh and so Adventures with Me and T says I start mine in water but change it daily with lettuce, celery, etc. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. As long as you're willing to change it out and it doesn't get gross, like that's fine.
yeah, yeah. But honestly, usually it's easier just to put it right in the soil. You can just and on it. And when I grow stuff like this in the ground, if I'm harvesting some, I don't cut the whole thing. I don't pull the whole thing up. I just cut it and it'll regrow.
Mhm. Like yeah, so lettuce, celery, chard. Swiss chard actually is great because you can harvest several times off of that sometimes.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's go back to the garden hacks.
It's kind of fun. This was a good idea.
Yeah, no, I figured this would be fun, man, because this is like your bread and butter. So this is the spicy mustache guy. I like him. So 3 gardening tips from Urban Farmer. Comfrey.
Okay. Mass essential materials.
Let's see. He's gonna make like a
So he'll
huh.
dunk that in water. Yeah, so he's making like a compost tea.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be comfrey though. I mean,
No, it could be anything. It could be your
there's nothing
grass
there's
clippings or
there's nothing special about comfrey.
no.
No,
No,
I
and I read a study out of the University of Hawaii where they tried just like garden weeds, and that's literally the category. They were like they went and like harvested weeds out their garden, and then like lettuce and spinach and a few other things, and they essentially made fermented plant juice out of it for I think a month. And I don't think they saw any difference. Like they said it all worked. Like it was good compared to control and even some like over the counter stuff. But I don't think they saw any differences between the type of materials. Like it was all kind of the
yeah,
same.
yeah. Let's see. So he's using that watering can. All right. Copper tools. Oh, okay.
Blood based on copper.
What does that even mean?
I don't really know.
Which means they don't have an independent magnetic field.
Okay.
Oh, come
He lost
on,
me. He
man.
lost
Come
me.
on, man.
This one
Why do
started
you,
off so good.
oh, dude, why would he say that? Which means they don't have an independent magnetic field, okay? And so are more sensitive to Earth's magnetic forces. What do you think about that, Vikram?
You know, I think anytime people talk about we've talked a lot about electroculture and copper rods and all of that.
It hasn't come
Now,
up yet. It has not come up yet tonight.
hasn't come up yet. I will say, like, copper is good as in certain ways in the garden, right? Like your plants need a little bit of copper, but it's a good fungicide. It's actually a good so copper was it copper sulfate, copper. There's a couple of different ones that are pretty good fungicides, and
Yeah.
it can do you some good in the garden, but not by using copper tools to, I don't know, I guess disrupt your snail's magnetic fields or
I mean, I
whatever.
don't know. I don't know, man. Let's see. Using non-copper tools, I mean, they're pretty. Worm
Yeah,
casting, okay.
cool. That's great.
Harvesting worm castings, yeah.
Add biodiversity. Yeah, all that's good.
So he's 2 for 3.
He's 2 for 3. Yep,
Yeah.
that's good. The liquid, the solids.
I mean, I like 2 out of 3 is good. 2 out of 3 is
Yeah.
good. I mean, I like I said, I hate to. I don't like to criticize people for the most part for all that electroculture stuff, but like, it is what it is.
And like if you like using copper tools, use copper tools. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
Uh
it doesn't hurt me.
no. And like I like my Moscow Mule mugs just as my copper mugs just as much as anyone else.
Right,
But
right,
like
absolutely.
I think it just doesn't do what it's advertised to do. Like that's just not. There's not a whole lot to back that up.
Yeah. Let's see. Beginner gardening 8 tips for building a better backyard. This video is for you. Let's see. Oh, I'll turn the volume up.
Button and make sure you save this video because it's going to have.
Did you know
You may have already. Here's some gardening ideas for your backyard if you're a beginner gardener. And if you're a gardener and you're not following me already, go ahead and hit that follow button and make sure you save this video because it's going to have.
If you're worried about your plants not surviving the winter cold or you want some strategies on how to protect them this winter, I got several for you, and you're
I've seen
probably
her
going to really
before.
like the first two because if you're lazy, you'll like them. First, make sure you have your cats installed properly.
I like this one already.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that people don't talk about enough. I love her sweet almond verbena is growing really strong right there.
Yeah.
If your beds are empty in the winter and the fall, and you have stray cats that are running around your neighborhood, I don't know if that's what her tip's going to be, but like I have had stray cats come around and poo-poo in my raised beds, and
A lot.
yeah, and it's not good. It's not a good thing to have stuff like that pooping in your bed. So like,
No, and
you
actually, like cat feces can like carry a ton of diseases.
yeah, think about what they're eating. I mean, it's wild. So I mean,
Yeah.
I always try to tell people like put a tarp, like a silage tarp, or I just put I pick up my potted plants and put them on the raised beds to
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just make sure they're not wide open to anything come by and poop in them. Let me see. Let's see. We go.
For the vast majority of plants in your garden, you are going to not touch them and not cut them back until very late winter, early spring.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good tip. What's her name? Is this Texas Garden Girl?
Oh, that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
It's Texas Garden 8. Oh, I like it. We'll give her a follow.
Yeah, let's see.
If you're worried about your plants not surviving the winter,
Let's see. Let's go back where we were.
you say you have a
So-
misflower.
So that is a good tip. Like if you have a plant and it looks like it's dying or dead, and it's in the middle of winter, don't go pruning it back just then.
Yeah.
Wait till the spring. Wait till later in the winter to do any kind of pruning.
Yeah, just leave it
Or
alone.
trim.
And I kind of like, I actually don't even mind the look of, especially for grasses and things like that. They're still interesting to look at in the winter. Just leave them alone, and late winter, early spring, then go at them.
Let's give Noah another shot. I saw one with him down here. Let's go. 3 garden tips.
Here's 3 quick gardening tips for beginners. Tip number 1, don't
Let's just start off by saying he's doing everything right. Like he is doing all the things, dude. I love Noah.
He knows what he is doing. The man has it down. He went to the Tyler Froberg school of making videos.
Yes, well, and he even is he's the same font on all of his videos, which is something that people don't think
Oh,
about.
okay.
Let's see.
plant everything all at once because you're not going to eat it all at once. Instead, plant in weekly intervals called succession planting. That way
I
you
like that.
Succession planting, especially when it comes to stuff like, maybe not tomatoes and peppers, but like, your radishes. Oh my God, think about radishes. If you plant all your,
Yeah.
I do this every year, and I make the huge mistake of planting like 10,000 radishes all at once.
And like you can only eat so much radish, right? Like, and your friends are going to stop opening the door at some point because you keep giving them radishes. Like,
Stuff like radishes, carrots, stuff that doesn't store well. I mean, you could pickle stuff like that, but
can harvest and pick as needed throughout the growing season. Tip number 2, don't worry about growing 40 different things your first year. Instead, just focus on the things that you and your family want to eat or things that you can easily sell in your community.
that's a great tip.
yeah, it's so easy to get overwhelmed your first time gardening.
Yeah, and there's so much you don't think about, right? Like, and especially if you've never grown anything before. Yeah, pick 2 things you like. I would not start with tomatoes. Tomatoes can be a pain, right?
Well, yeah, and if you're gonna do tomatoes, don't do 100 tomatoes your first year.
Right. Maybe like 2 or 3. Like, start small, grow some peppers. Peppers are tough, and like you can really abuse a pepper and it'll keep going. Leafy greens during the cool season are tough and they're easy to grow. So yeah, pick 2 or 3 things you really like and make your mistakes on those and like figure it out. And then over time, yeah, add to what you grow.
and grow stuff you're going to eat. That's the number. That's a big thing. Don't just grow it to grow it. Grow it to eat.
Yeah, food waste is a
Those
huge
are a
deal.
staple in almost every.
Sorry. Yeah, Phil.
No,
Food
no,
waste.
no.
You talk about that before. Food waste is a big deal. Like it really is. Like people grow more than they actually eat.
Yeah. And so like if you have somewhere to go with it, like if you've got a food bank that'll take fresh produce, or like a co-op or something that you can distribute it, I mean, that's awesome. Then plant as much as you want. But like, it's sad to plant it and just end up throwing it away or putting it back in the compost or whatever. Like, use your space wisely and your resources wisely, and just grow what you want.
Exactly. Tomato cages.
Every single garden. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't like tomatoes, you don't have to plant them. Tip number 3 is know which zone you're located in and what vegetable variety.
I thought it changed videos.
That's so funny.
I was not expecting that at all.
That's pretty funny.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Going to be best for that zone. Some vegetables have over 100 different varieties to choose from. So picking the right variety for your zone can be the difference between life and death for your plant, and will be an absolute game changer in the amount you harvest this fall.
Great advice. Great advice. I always tell people, they ask me my recommendations for like, what tomatoes should I grow? What fruit trees should I grow? And I was like, well, I know what grows for me. You have to look and find out what grows for you, or try and see what grows for you, because not everything's going to grow everywhere.
But you're right. Even just watching that video all the way through, Noah's doing it right. Like he's got this social media thing down.
Oh my God, there's a reason he does it for a living, and he's much taller in real life. He is.
Is he really?
Dude, he must be every bit of 6'8".
What?
Yeah, he's really tall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's super tall. Yeah, I've met him a couple times. He's really nice guy, and
yeah, I've talked to him once or twice. I like him.
But way taller in person, and Froberg's shorter than you think.
Yeah, oh, and people like that is so hard to tell. Like people have like an idea in their head. Like I'm pretty tall, and remember the first time I met Des at Michael's place. She was like, I didn't think you would be this tall. I'm like, yeah, I know. I look short on the internet. Whatever. I'm built like a refrigerator. I'm sorry.
People are always like, man, you're not as fat as you look on video. I'm like, I know.
People are jerks, man.
I just think we're all a little honest about some things sometimes. And yeah, it's yeah. Let's see what this is. Okay, here we go.
Stop wasting money on potting soil. You can make your own. Just collect some free leaves from outside. Lay them in the sun for 2 days to kill bacteria.
Okay. 2 days in the sun to kill bacteria?
I don't think so, no.
And if you're worried about bugs, sprinkle a little ash. Grab an empty
ash.
I don't know that kills bugs. It can add like if it can, yeah, I don't know. It can help like manage the pH of whatever you're doing.
I'm not disagreeing with what they're doing, because like I throw dead leaves and stuff in like raised beds and planters all the time. But I don't think it would replace potting soil.
No, I'm curious where they're going with this.
Let's see.
Pot. Layer soil, then leaves. Soil, then leaves until it's full. Water it well, cover with a black plastic bag, and leave it in the sun. After 2 months, you'll have light, rich soil that makes any...
That's not true.
That's not true.
No. Well, and they specifically said potting soil. So when you talk about potting soil specifically, you're going to have your traditional black soil. You're going to have some probably vermiculite, perlite, things that are well draining for pots. This would be like a lasagna method for like a raised bed, or like there's nothing against like what they're doing. I wouldn't consider it potting soil by any means.
No, I wouldn't either. And like you're not gonna get like a nice composted soil like they showed you in 2 months in a pot. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know where this is. I'm guessing. I see the. Oh my goodness! Here, look at this. So I'm looking at the picture, and that looks like the most AI profile picture I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely.
That's not a real
Leaf,
person.
no, Leaf and Root Zero.
Oh, we can go see this real quick because they got some videos pinned. Oh, they got
Let's
some good
see.
ones. Let's see.
Today I'm showing you how sugar can grow any plant.
We talked about sugar earlier, like putting it in the water.
Yeah, sugar with milk. Oh no, no thanks. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna be happy about whatever happens next.
That being said, I did do a milk video early on in my
Uh,
TikTok days. I did a spoiled milk video where you did like 50-50 water and milk. And yeah, it didn't work out as well as it stunk. Dude,
oh, I bet that smelled so bad.
it stunk for a long time. But it's supposed to help with like powdery mildew and like all these things. It just stunk. It
What?
just stunk.
One sugar with milk works like a rooting agent. It helps plants
Oh, did you
grow
see
new
the?
roots.
So they're in
Two
Asia somewhere. Did you see the milk container?
Uh-uh.
Here, go back.
It
Watch
helps
when they
plants
pour
grow
the
new
milk.
roots. 2 sugar with water is a plant drink. It makes the leaves glossy and shiny.
No,
3 sugar with vinegar is a growth booster. It helps plants sprout new
no, it doesn't.
Sugar,
What?
sugar with vinegar.
I don't think so.
Dude,
I'm gonna go
This
with no.
this is the most clippable episode of the garden party I've ever done in my entire life. This is going to be
Uh,
great.
Yeah,
Oh my God. I always get weirded out when people use vinegar on plants, like because
yeah,
vinegar in general, like you can use like is it what a 3% or 1% vinegar? I've used it like as a weed killer.
yeah,
It'll kill freaking everything.
yeah. It's a herbicide for sure.
It's,
For
it's
sure.
it's I mean people that are scared of like chemicals can do like a solution of like I think they do like Epsom salt, Blue Dawn
Yeah.
soap, and like vinegar mixed with water. I just buy like this. They call it like the Green Goblin. It's the worst name ever, but it's like this highly concentrated vinegar you can use like to kill weeds, and it smells like vinegar. And actually, it came with a spray bottle, and it dripped onto my concrete floor in my garage, and it started to eat a hole through the top layer of the concrete in my garage.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, vinegar, like acetic acid, is super corrosive.
Yes. I would not be putting that in any of my plants that you
No.
don't want to kill. Yeah. Let's see what they say.
roots. For sugar with beer acts as a bloom fertilizer. It makes flowers explode all over the pot.
Beer and sugar. There's not enough sugar in beer already?
Yeah, no, like it's pretty much mostly that.
Okay, so there were some travel ones earlier, like the guy was with the wicking pot. Let's see this one says.
Heading out for a trip? Keep your plants watered with this simple hack. All you need is a plastic bag.
So people do this. I've seen like
Yeah,
when they plant trees, they put those black bags out.
it's like a gator bag. Yeah,
Yeah, and they slowly leak water out, which is a great idea for people that just planted a tree or in an area where you don't get a lot of water and you can't get a hose all the way out there. It makes sense.
yeah, and that's fine. Because and see the difference between this and what we saw earlier is again that dripper just drips in one spot. But if you can cover all of that soil with something that'll slowly like saturate it, like that'll work. That's why those gator bags work for young trees, is because they give you even coverage around it.
But those gator bags are UV resistant. This clear plastic bag
Oh yeah,
is not UV resistant. So
Can-
it's going to last like less than a day and it's just going to break. The whole thing's going to
Yeah.
break. All the
Be like
water's going to out.
bag of algae.
Yes. Yeah.
Fill it with water. Tie 2 knots and no leaks. Then poke a tiny hole with a toothpick to let the water drip slowly. Place it in your plant pot to
You would need a
maintain
bunch.
humidity. Now you can travel without worrying about your plants drying out.
But like as a concept, that's not a bad idea. Like as a concept, that's fine.
Correct. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, at all. I mean, that's not bad. Let's see. Oh, they got some good.
I'm gonna have to like, what is this one called? I'm gonna have to follow them so I can steal some of their stuff for videos.
Yeah.
Leaf and Root Zero.
This Chinese bot is called Leaf and Root Zero.
Stop wasting money on potting soil.
Let's see what the next one.
Backyard Grow Girl.
Where's that one at?
Well, no, that's so like I just pulled it up on my TikTok and like the headline is Backyard Grow Girl when clearly that was an Asian man in the video.
100%. Let's see.
3 things you need to do to your lawn in fall. first thing, need to cut your lawn low. Don't worry, you can use your lawn mower. Number
I did love that. I did love that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
2, fertilizer. This is weed and feed phase 2 for fall. This one, feed your grass and kill the weeds. After 3 or 4 weeks, you do the step 3. The fun part is reseeding your lawn. Choose the right seeds for the lawn you have. Spread your seeds like you're feeding chickens, like that. Nice.
I do like his method. I love the guy has got some riz. I like the way he's.
I like him.
I do follow Armstrong Gardens just because that dude's got some riz. Oh, here's your friend.
Did you know if you grab a ginger root from a store and throw it in a pot with soil?
Already, are you a ginger grower? Do you enjoy ginger?
I don't like, so I'll use it a little bit. I love the smell of ginger flowers. They smell so good.
Yes. I'm not a ginger. I don't use much ginger in my house.
I really don't either. But the plant's really pretty. Like, I like growing it.
Right. Let's see what we got here. This is some Michael Bay. It's some Michael Bay production value in this video. This is pretty insane.
I can't wait for the explosions.
Yeah, right. Oh my
God. Cover it lightly. Water it every other day.
Okay.
I don't recommend people water like this.
No, any plant, especially potted plants, like water heavily and infrequently. Like, that's the rule of thumb.
Yeah, we water we always eat the fungus gnats, so we water about once a week. But we also grow our stuff in a lot of bonsai soil, like really, really inorganic mixes, so that it drains really fast. Our plants love it. We don't have the gnats.
Oh, funny story that I actually need to make a video about. I've got to start creating content. Like, over the break, I got to do this. We have some just carnivorous plants in our kitchen. I've got a Venus flytrap that's about to bloom, and I'm excited about it. It's really cool. But then I've got a sundew.
Time lapse it.
Oh, that would be super cool. But I've got a little sundew, just in a pot like that big. And I noticed that there were fungus gnats in the soil of the sundew, so it's like feeding itself. Like, that's the funniest thing, that they're like hatching and growing and coming out and then getting stuck in the sundew.
That's actually impressive. That's
yeah. That plant's got it figured out.
I've killed so many carnivorous plants in my day.
They're tough. Like, they're tough to care for.
Some people say like they're the easiest thing to care for, and a lot of people don't realize is a lot of them are native plants. Like, there's a lot of native carnivorous plants, like to the U.S. Like, especially in Phil's neck of the woods.
Yep.
North Carolina has a huge population.
Like pitcher plants, and I think a couple of species of fly traps and some other stuff.
And then some plants are carnivorous. You don't realize they're carnivorous. They just have little sticky leaves and things like that. Like, it's not even like a pitcher plant. Those are kind of the poster child of carnivorous.
Right.
There's other things that are just non, attention grabbing, but they are still carnivorous.
Right. Okay.
Let's see.
And in a couple of weeks, check this out. Life is sprouting out of the soil. Amazing.
So ginger is like one of the easiest plants to grow, by the way.
It's so easy to grow.
It is. And there's so many varieties. I went to Moody Gardens. My friend Danita, she runs the horticulture program, and she had some of the flowers. You can eat them.
Cool.
It tastes like Starburst. Like, it was wild. But
that's
they're not
cool.
They're not all edible though. And then you see like the shampoo ones as well. If you squeeze them in, it's like shampoo that comes out.
Yeah, ginger's a cool plant.
It is, and it's like, as far as his video goes, man, it's really easy to grow.
Yeah, that's about all there is to it.
Did you know if you grab a...
Let's see. What else do you have to say?
And in a couple of weeks, check this out. Life is sprouting out of the soil. Amazing. But even more amazing, there's magic happening underneath the soil. Check back in a couple of months and you'll see. Whoa. All this ginger from one piece.
Yeah, that's what ginger does. That's how it spreads. I'm going to say
this is staged.
I'm going to say, like, there was not that much ginger in the pot. Like, it will spread, and you will get more out of it, but that's a lot.
Yeah, this looks like it all came in a bag.
Yeah.
And he put it. I mean, what he's saying is true.
Yeah.
But what's going on in the video is not like they would all be connected, by the way. They would all be attached to the original root. They wouldn't be nubs just randomly floating around like it wouldn't just poof, you're a nugget. Poof, you're a nugget. They all be attached to the original root. But in principle, he's correct.
Yeah. And that's like, again, a lot of the information, especially in that video, like you can plant a ginger root and it will grow ginger and you get more ginger. Like that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just the way that he talks about it. So
I can't, man. Like I can't. And he like won't stand still.
Yeah, he does those what they call them jump cuts,
Yeah.
All right, let's
But it works for him. Like
You won't
again, he
believe
knows
what
what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's doing the same thing in an apartment that Noah is doing in a farm in Nebraska.
Right.
I mean, but I deeply enjoy Noah's content more than his.
Oh yeah.
Peroxide can be used for besides custom burns and whitening teeth. Measure out a tablespoon's worth of 3% peroxide into a cup or a bowl. And then mix it with a cup of water. What you have here is a magical solution to revive plants. So the main...
Nope. Just no. just no.
So, explain what he's talking about here. I'll say it's hydrogen peroxide and water. Is it just that simple to bring like an obvious dead plant back to life? Like that plant is dead.
Let's see what happens. I'm curious where he's going with this, but still no.
I'm gonna bump it back to
water. What you have here is a magical solution to revive plants. So the main reason why your plants are turning brown is because the roots are rotting. Caused by...
Can we identify that plant at all?
It kind of looks like it was an avocado that he...
And you can almost see the pit at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's an avocado.
Yeah, which if you do enough of those, like some of them are gonna die just on their own.
Yeah.
A fungi that's eating at the root and pretty much suffocating your plants. So apply this solution directly to the soil of your plants and watch your plants come back to life. You won't believe what hydrogen...
No. Like no. So
measure out a tablespoon.
Add these two things to your garden for
like peroxide can be good in your pots. Again, it can help as a fungicide. But he said the main reason your plants are dying is because your roots are rotting, and that doesn't mean anything. Like that's not like root rot is a thing, but that's caused more by overwatering than fungus in the soil. And in fact, a lot of times fungi in the soil are great for your plants.
Right. Well, and it's vice versa, right? Usually the fungi would happen as a result of overwatering.
Yeah.
More than anything. Like
yeah, and so like letting it dry out and watering less frequently, like that his dead avocado there's not coming back from the grave, right? It's dead. It's dead.
Obviously, because that's why it's not at the end of the video.
Yeah, it's extra strength dead.
Back to life. And let's real quick, since we're on the topic of like growing avocados from the pits. It's cool. People can do it.
Yeah.
But is that avocado 99% of the time going to, it's going to take years to grow into an avocado tree. Is it going to be the avocado that you ate? Probably not.
No, and you're probably never going to get a fruit off of it either. Like even if it flowers. So avocados do this thing where they, like there's an A type and a B type of avocados, and they have to cross pollinate. So like the A types, the male flowers will be open in the morning, and the B type, the female flowers are open in the morning, and then vice versa. It's to actually kind of hedge against self-pollination. And so they're like they're monoecious plants, which means they have both male and female flowers on the same plant, but they're just not active and open at the same time. And so you have to have both types so they'll cross-pollinate, and the pollen's not viable very long. So in theory, you could harvest the pollen, and then like keep it in a vial and cool it and whatever, and then apply it later, and that's possible. But the odds of like off of a single avocado plant ever getting a fruit are just unbelievably low, and you would wait like 10 years to find that out.
Right. Well, and so would you were saying the male and females don't open at the same time? So like on most avocados, do you some open in the evening, some open in the morning, like male and female?
Mm-hmm.
Really, I didn't know that.
And then the other varieties are inverse of that, so that like you'll have variety A that has the male flowers open in the morning, and variety B that has the female flowers open in the morning, so they can cross pollinate, and it ensures like evolutionarily that you get more genetic diversity. I mean, because they grow in these tropical climates, it makes a stronger plant, and it keeps from inbreeding and self-pollination. And so like avocados are actually pretty complicated to grow. Like the production systems, they'll have a few pollinating or pollinizers out there that are their pollen sources, and then they'll have the Haas or whatever variety they're trying to grow that are their main fruit crop. And like you do the same thing with melons, right? You'll have a pollinizing melon out there that'll cross pollinate with the other ones, and you get what you want out of it. And so, um, but yeah, like some of this guy's videos, he'll say like, "Don't buy avocados, grow your own," and like, or he'll do the same with citrus, right? Like, don't buy citrus from the store. It's like 7 to 10 years if you're lucky, and then yes, you can get some citrus out of your little key lime or whatever. But they take forever.
Well, and there's a reason why they graft onto a rootstock. Like
100%.
Like I was growing desert roses, right? I bought 2,000 seeds from Thailand, had them imported, and I bought some, the normal, Daniel Besoms, and then I bought some of the exotic, like triple blooms, crazy stuff. And when you plant the seeds versus just the standard Daniel Besom, you get germination like crazy. When you plant the really exotic seeds, not so much. So it makes sense why you do grafting, because those exotic, flowers, exotic flavors of citrus, they don't grow as vigorously as the rootstock. That's why you graft them on.
Right, and you can get past some of that juvenility period too, and go from 7 to 10 years to 1 to 3 years before you get into production. And so like, yeah, and basically every fruit tree you buy anymore is grafted. There's very few that are on their own roots.
So oddly enough, last year I did a video where I had picked up some, for anybody in Texas, there's only 3 nurseries in the entire state of Texas that are legally allowed to graft citrus. Like it's a big deal. It's a big licensing and inspections. It is crazy. But I believe it was Saxon. I picked up some from Home Depot, and they were not grafted. They were.
Oh, really?
They're grown from what? I looked for the tags and everything, like because they have to have, like, where the rootstock came from and when it was grafted. None of that. It was grown from a limb. I've got 2 or 3 that are, and that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't. So it's very different. But yeah, so growing stuff from seed isn't always. When it comes to certain things, isn't always.
Especially like with apples, like citrus sometimes will grow true to type, but even that is kind of a crapshoot. But like apples and pears and a lot of your pomes are like they outcross so readily. The odds of you getting a true to type apple from your seed are just basically none. Like it's just so low.
Right. Well, and like I had a Franken squash. I had a zucchini that cross pollinated with squash, and so like you harvest a seed from that. What is it going to come out? Like you just when you have open pollination, who knows what that fruit seed is?
You get some weird stuff.
This is fun. I'm having fun. Are you good to go for a little bit longer? Or are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. The time has flown by. I looked. I was like, we're an hour and a half. I'm like, oh my god, this has been fun. Let's see. Grow better garlic with one hack.
Farmer Dean here. If you want big and beautiful garlic like this, then you have to prep your bed in the fall before you plant. I do it usually, it's the 1st of September. I'll plant the last of September. So I'm going to show you how to prep my bed.
So he's in the Upper Peninsula. He's got the Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are, when people are growing garlic, they need to know there's soft neck garlic and there's hard neck garlic. So up north, they're going to be probably growing in Michigan. This is Michigan. So unless he just got the hat, but I can only assume if he's wearing a Michigan State hat, he's in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, he's got to be.
So he's growing hardneck garlic over winter if he's talking about going in fall, and it's going to start getting cold in Michigan pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
This is one of the beds that I had last year. What I'm going to do is just going to turn this over a little bit, make sure that it's still soft.
So I noticed a huge difference in root vegetables by fluffing the soil, broad forking. Like that's a great tip. Especially like I had always had terrible success with carrots. It took Jeremy, Dirty Punk Gardening, talking about broad forking to where I finally got really nice carrot production.
That's cool.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Farmer Dave here. If you want, I'm about 2 inches from the top. You'll see that I'll have a completely different look when I finish. Here's the most important thing. You got to put in your nutrients now. What you need is yeast. That's going to put microorganisms back in this ingredient that you need is
yeast.
So I'm going to put in blood meal. Okay, that's going to
Blood meal's fine.
So blood meal, that's gonna be higher like nitrogen, right? It's nitrogen.
Yeah, nitrogen is yes, and it's sort of a slow release, so that would be good over the growing period, especially through the winter. You're not going to lose as much to like volatility and stuff, so it would be good for your garlic for sure. Blood meal is good.
I know most people are using bone meal when it comes to root vegetables.
Yeah, and that's going to be
phosphorus.
more. Yeah.
Need some nitrogen, bone meal, which will give me mainly phosphorus. The number one ingredient that you need is yeast. That's going to put.
I don't know about the yeast. That one for me, yeah, it'll put microorganisms, but just yeast. Like yeast is a specific microorganism, and yeast exists everywhere. Like it's already there. Like
that's very important to know.
Like it's everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically taken. So most fertilizers have your nitrogen, your phosphorus, and your potassium. He's breaking it down instead of using a complete fertilizer. Right. He's kind of
piecemealing it out. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of
deconstructed fertilizer. It's fancier that way.
So the yeast is going to put microorganisms in the soil.
Microorganism back in the soil.
It's already in the soil. You don't need it's. I mean, you can do that, but it's already there. My other special ingredient.
Special ingredients, molasses. I'm going to put that in there.
So this is blackstrap molasses. This is not agricultural molasses. There's a difference, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, but people use it all the time, and people swear by it. I haven't read a whole lot about it, but I don't think, especially in the winter, you don't have to worry too much about ants and different things like that. I would not use it in the spring, or you're going to drown in ants in that bed.
Yeah, just sugar.
It's just sugar.
Yeah.
So microorganisms need something to eat on. It's pretty simple.
So he's feeding his yeast, is what he's doing.
Blood meal. Most important ingredient, yeast. Got to get those microorganisms. They attach to the roots of the plant, and they let the plant.
But yeast is not. Like that's not the right kind of microorganism.
Right. Well, and when it comes to fertilizers, there's micro and there's macro, right?
Yeah. Well, so yeah, micronutrients are going to be like your trace elements, your metals and things like that. Your actually iron is sort of on the line there, but especially like manganese, magnesium, all that. And if you really want to add, if you're really concerned about microorganisms in your soil, you would be better off, like we were talking about earlier, adding like a compost tea. Or even just regular compost. That's going to be way more bioactive.
Azomite as well.
Yeah. Or you can go and actually buy mixes of mycorrhizal fungi, which actually do what he's talking about. Now, yeast is, again, a very specific type of organism that is not, as far as I know, like it doesn't form those same relationships with roots as like an arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi. And so yes, microorganisms are great in your soil, but everything else he's done, the fact that there's like straw in his soil, that he's adding bone meal and blood meal, like all of that is going to encourage microorganism growth. Like the yeast is just an extra thing. Like I don't think there's any reason to do that.
And obviously, like if this dude wants to do this every year, go on ahead. I mean,
it's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, if it works for him, hell,
it's fine.
I think it's a bunch of garlic. Good for him.
that we just put in here. After when I plant, I also put in Epsom salts to stimulate the roots.
Epsom salt for roots.
So I see people planting that, like using Epsom salts with
I used
tomatoes.
I used to do it, yeah.
Like, again, it's one of those things that as long as you're not using too much of it, it's probably not going to hurt anything. I just like, I don't know that it does a whole lot of good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like I will say, like, and I'm obviously a little bit biased because I work for Nelson Plant Food, but our tomato food has plenty of magnesium, manganese, and calcium and everything. So you don't need really much CalMag or anything like that. You don't really have to do much. You know, people need to read their fertilizer containers because like they already have a lot of those things in there. You know, they don't need to add the Epsom salt. You don't need to add the eggs, the milk, you know, the toothpaste, whatever.
I mean, yeah. So Epsom is just magnesium sulfate, right? So like most soils, it depends where you are, like, you know, but get a soil test. Like that's always going to be a good idea, even once a year, once every 2 or 3 years. Like as long as you know kind of what's in there. For the most part, you're not going to be deficient in magnesium. Now, some places, if you have a super low pH, it can bind some of that, dissolve some, like it can cause some problems. But for most of us, like it's pretty rare to find a magnesium deficiency.
Yeah, it's usually nitrogen deficiency, right?
Right, that's going to be your number one. In lower pH soils, you'll see some phosphorus, potassium deficiencies sometimes. High pH soils, like I use a strong nitrogen fertilizer up here in my part of the state. A little bit of phosphorus. We are very rarely deficient in potassium up here. I've got all the calcium you could ever want.
Especially if you're doing potting soil. Like I do bagged soil. Like I've topped my beds off and everything every year. So I'm not really. I've never even done a soil test in mine because I'm constantly having to bring bagged soil in.
Sure.
If you're getting fresh stuff, I don't really necessarily worry about it. But if I was doing stuff in the ground, I would definitely get soil tests done because
For sure.
you may be spending a lot of money on something that you don't need. It's just going to waste. I mean, it's like when they say, you know, you buy these big multivitamins and they say like, oh, you're just buying really expensive urine because most of that stuff is just getting peed out. You know, that's just what's happening with this.
You'd be better off like going and getting a blood test and seeing, you know, maybe you're deficient in vitamin D or vitamin B, and then just take the one thing you need, or eat more complete foods that have them in it, or go out in the sun every now and then. And
right. The main point is go outside, everybody. Everybody go outside.
Spend some time outside. Yes. Leave your phone inside, go outside. It'll be better for you.
And now what I'm going to do is
drizzling the
molasses
molasses
with compost manure. I'm going to put it all the way up to the top. We'll probably have 4 or 5 rains. After it rains, it's going to sink it down probably an inch. But that's what I want. I want new soil on top. So I'm taking the compost manure, and I like the manure because it's got some trace elements in it, and we don't get that just plain dirt.
The manure's got trace elements in it?
Yeah, it will. Because you know, if you're thinking of like a cow manure or whatever, they're eating a lot of things. They're getting iron and different, you know, trace elements out of whatever they're eating. A little bit ends up in the manure. Yeah, no, he's right. Like the good thing about an organic source of nutrients compared to like a synthetic source is that they tend to be very complete, especially if it's processed through an animal. Or if you think about it, like, okay, if there are things a plant needs to grow, a lot of those things are going to be in the plant tissue. So if you take your plants and compost them, you're putting those things back into your fertilizer source. That's the best argument I can make in general for using like compost and manures. I think they're great. I think we should be using them more.
Absolutely.
But that's not to say though, like if you're super nutrient deficient, even if you're just a little bit nutrient deficient, like go and buy a bag of something, right? I think, in my opinion, organic sources of nutrition, of plant nutrition, are super for maintenance. And if you have a long-term plan and you're constantly adding it and keeping it up, that is the way to go. But then, even so, you're going to need to supplement with nitrogen. You're going to supplement, especially if you're trying to grow a lot of food, or if you're trying to grow a lot of plants.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Like those plants are drawing the nutrients out of the soil, and so what you're taking out, you got to replenish.
Yep.
my topsoil. I'll bring this up here about an inch from the top, as you can see. What's nice about doing it early is everything will start to work. We'll get a couple good rains on this. The topsoil will break down. The microorganisms will start working. This will be a great bed to plant in my garlic. OMGs.
I want that to be my text tone. Someone text me, "Oh my geez."
Oh my geez. I actually really like this guy. Like completely honestly.
I'm definitely gonna follow this guy. This is Farmer 2D. I'm definitely gonna follow him on TikTok.
Farm 2D. Okay.
Uh,
Like he's a delight, right? Like this little guy's awesome.
I love these guys. I mean, and whether or not like science or we believe in like some of their methods, I mean, something's working for them. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not breaking their wallets. I mean, if it was hurting their pocket, they wouldn't be doing it still. I mean, so
Right.
whether it's placebo or working, it's not hurting anything.
The way I think about it, and like he hasn't done anything that I really have any real heartburn about. Like again, I don't think the yeast is necessary. I don't think that's doing a lot for him, but
You might
it's not gonna
harvest
hurt
for
anything.
bread out of there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, especially it's hot enough in Texas, it would definitely get baked in there.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. That's totally fine. I think where I get but what I love about what he's doing, he's like, this is how I do it. This is what my method is. Like, this is great. Like, I think it's cool. As opposed to some of these other ones that are like, don't use those toxic things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in my mind, like, I am happy to let people do whatever makes them happy and feel good about their garden and all that, unless they're telling people this is how you have to do it.
Right.
That's where I get a little bit upset because I'm like, okay, but you don't have to do it. Like, there's a lot of other ways to do it.
Oh, for sure. Like this is America. You can garden however you want to garden. Like I mean, as long as you're not hurting me, I don't care. I mean, that's perfectly fine. You know, he's having fun too, and that is at the end of the day, what is most important about gardening is
Absolutely.
once it becomes work. Once you go from gardener to farmer, it's not so much fun, unless you're Froberg or Noah. You know,
right?
I
Right.
love garlic. This is the only way to do it. If you want big garlic, you have to prep your bed before you plant.
Well, we spoke too soon, Vikram.
He is right though. Like kind of like you were talking about earlier. Good bed prep, loosening the soil, making sure it's amended well, will help with any root crop get bigger. Whether it's your potatoes or your carrots or your garlic. Like there is some, but you can grow garlic's like actually pretty tough. Like you can plant it anywhere and it'll do its thing.
Yes. I mean, it's for me, it's like having the space for it, like to take 6 months to grow. Like it just takes a long freaking time.
And then at some point, what are you going to do with 100 heads of garlic?
Yeah, I didn't
That's
have
a lot of garlic.
I didn't have that problem this year. I'll take that out. So let's see. So he's a 5 gardening hacks. Wish I knew at 28. And he's using Haas. He's using the Haas little thing right there. So I like that. Oops, sorry. Why is it going like that? 5 gardening hacks. Wish I knew at 28. Root yields more food than tomatoes.
I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it, right? Like, yeah, like your potatoes and your root crops, you are probably going to get a lot of very filling, like hearty food out of it. Probably with less work than growing tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
It's a space thing. It's a space thing, really. Like if you have room to put them in the ground and the equipment to, pull them up. Healthy soil solves most problems before they begin. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see. Weekly planting grows more food than once in spring. Yeah, we'll talk about
that's
that.
like the succession planting. Yep.
Let's see. Every weed you pull now saves work years from now. How about all that?
I guess what he's getting at is that like if you keep your gardens fairly weed free, you're not going to build up like a seed bank that you're going to fight for years. I don't know if that's the point he's making, but that's kind of how I take it,
Yeah.
Which I can see. Depleting that seed bank if you've got like a weed problem is certainly the best bet. Getting things before they go to seed.
I spend a lot of time pulling weeds, man. I pull a lot of weeds, and it's well. I see a familiar face here, and actually
Oh
see it.
yeah.
I actually so this is from March 20th of 2022. I actually remember Froberg filming this video because he did part of it in my old greenhouse.
Really? Okay.
Yes, my old because he helped me put it up.
That's not Froberg.
Hey guys.
What happened?
Where'd he go? That's weird.
It was right there, but it's not popping up.
That's so strange.
Is TikTok breaking on me? It's possible.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What's really odd is that I'm not hardly in any of these videos, and I'm pretty great.
It is weird that you haven't popped up, but most of your stuff is not like plant hack or like.
And there was one preview of me earlier, but nothing crazy. Let's see. Let's see.
Here's 3 quick gardening tips. Stop.
The dude is freaking impressive. Like before we even go, I hate to keep giving Noah this much credit because he's. I don't consider him a competitor because he is way above me in the tier list, but like he is fantastic. So stop.
You won't believe
Oh no.
Here's 3 quick. You won't believe
what is going on. What happened?
Here's
This
3
app
quick
hates you.
gardening tips. Stop watering your potatoes 2 to 3 weeks before harvest. Here's 3
He did it.
quick
Oh my
gardening.
god. He did it again. The mispronunciation.
He did. And it's subtle. Like he's really good at making it super subtle.
Maybe I think we're learning some things tonight, Vikram.
The dude's a professional, I swear.
You know, I always tell people I spend very little time watching other people's content because I don't want it to influence too much of my content. But I will probably start mispronouncing names going
I'd
forward.
be curious. You should try that and just see what happens. Like I'm curious to see what
Instead
your
of like,
comment.
how would I say adenium? Like aluminium? Like
Adenium or something. Adenium.
Adenium obesum.
Potatoes.
Tip. Stop watering your potatoes 2 to 3 weeks before harvest.
Well, that makes sense. So that makes sense. So like
Good tip.
for me, when I harvested potatoes this year, I did them in grow bags. And so I didn't water them about, a week before I harvested mine because it's just so dry. He's in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So it's way wetter here in Houston. So I didn't really have to water them much. But like picking those grow bags up and dumping them into my cart, they were so freaking heavy, dude.
Oh, I bet they were. It'll also, I don't know what he's going to say, but it'll also help harden the skin. So you'll damage them less pulling them out.
Interesting.
It'll suberize a little bit better on the outside of that potato skin. And so like you won't scuff them up and peel the skin off when you're trying to harvest them. I don't know if that's what he's going to say, but like that's one perk of doing it.
We're going to find out.
A wet potato is more likely to rot in storage, so you want them nice and dry when you harvest. Speaking of
I mean, the storage aspect, I didn't think about that. I mean, how did, like, I stored mine, I let them cure in a box for about a week or so, and then I put them in the fridge. And I did these early in spring, and I still have potatoes in my fridge that
Really?
I'm probably going to be able to reuse as seed potatoes like next spring. Like they're not mushy or anything like that. Like they're still good in my garage. In the fridge.
Like a cool, dry place. Cool, dark, dry place is best. If you store them, if you think about like where potatoes grow, if you store them in a dark, warm place, they'll sprout.
Right.
Because you put them underground, like they're already in a dark spot, like they're going to sprout. But if you put them in a cool, dark place, they think it's still winter. The soil's temperature is not hot enough. And so they won't sprout. So you need to keep them like below 50, 60 degrees, potentially, if possible, and they'll last longer.
Well, and that makes sense because I was at Jay White's place and he was harvesting some fall potatoes. And he was saying it's hard to find seed potatoes for the fall here in Texas. And so like you could keep some of those potatoes that you grew in the spring, put them in a warmer, dark space, have them start to spud, and then you can replant them in the fall.
Yeah.
You won't believe
why does this keep happening to me, dude? It's
he
like
won't leave you alone.
Here's 3 quick gardening Tip: stop watering your potatoes 2 to 3 weeks before harvest. A wet potato is more likely to rot in storage, so you want them nice and dry when you harvest. Speaking of water, watermelons need copious amounts of irrigation.
He did it again, dude.
He
He's
did it
definitely
again.
Oh, dude. We could do a whole episode just dissecting Noah's
I know,
video
really.
process.
Like,
Like,
it's like a master class on what we do.
dude, he should. I'm sure he's been addressed by the masterclass company. I'm sure.
Throughout the growing season, but as the fruit begins to reach its full potential, you actually want to cut back on the water. That's because
Excess water equals less sugar. Is
Yeah. So like you'll see that in it makes sense for melons because like the more you put water in there, the more it'll dilute whatever sugars are in there. So like the sugar content doesn't necessarily change necessarily, but you won't be able to taste it as much. So they will do that for grapes and olives is before harvest they'll reduce the water because it concentrates more sugar in those berries and in the olives, so you get better oil content.
That's
we did a
interesting.
we did a so for my master's, actually one of my other like fellow grad students, she did some work on oil content. And so we looked at is like different irrigation levels based on oil content. What we found is like there was a sweet zone where you got the best oil content, the most polyphenols, all those things in the olives. And if you water too much, it really dilutes that. You get a big, heavy fruit, but the oil content's lower. And
Just
if
all
you
water.
right, and if you did, because all that stuff ends up evaporating off when they pasteurize it and all that, and you end up with less oil per volume. And then if you don't water enough, like the fruit starts to dry up and it's like the flavors are wrong, the polyphenols are wrong. So there's sort of a butter zone in there for a lot of these things. But yeah, no, that's actually right. The more water you put in, the less like sugar and flavor you're gonna have in there.
Well, and
So
people might not know you got your master's, like your dissertation was in olives, right?
yeah, I studied olives. Yep, South Texas.
You mentioned pasteurization. Can you get unpasteurized olive oil? Can you get that?
I don't know, but most of it's hot pressed. Like they pasteurize most of it.
Gotcha. And that happens because I've heard of cold press.
They do
Certain
both.
things. Yeah.
They do both, and I think I've had some. I've actually had olive oil straight off the press.
Oh, but it's
Uh,
delicious.
it's so like the flavors are so strong in that, and depending on what variety, some of them are real peppery and spicy. Some of them are really smooth and buttery. And we tried like they would give us little tiny little shot glasses of olive oil, and we tried like 10 different varieties at this harvest thing I went to, and everyone tasted different.
I'm
You
sure.
know, you just go to the store and you buy olive oil, and it's usually a blend of different things.
Like you say, it's olive oil. It's like yes.
Especially some of the stuff coming out of like different countries, if it's imported, their rules, it has to be like 51% olive oil, and then it's mixed with varieties of other things. US olive oil, I think to be considered extra virgin, it has to be pressed within like 3 hours of harvest, and it has to be 100% olive oil.
Wow.
So
I love hearing that. Yeah, because the topic of like cooking oils and seed oils has gotten so popular in the last couple of years.
yeah.
Like whether seed oils versus like beef tallow and things like
Uh-huh.
that. It's so complex, and when we start importing stuff, the restrictions and the levels of percentages, like you were saying, aren't as important when it comes to like importing
You just don't
things.
know what you're gonna get sometimes with some of the, and it's like it's fine, but you probably do need, if you really want pure olive oil, buying a US producer, which it's gonna be more expensive because there's less producers here. There's California olives, it's grown in, I think it's really well suited to like Arizona and a couple of different places, but California is probably the biggest producer, as
Are
far
there
as
any
I know.
Texas-based olive oil companies?
There's a couple. There's Texas Olive Ranch down in Carrizo Springs, so
Oh,
down near
okay.
the border, and you can buy it at most grocery stores. I think HEB carries it, United Supermarkets carries it here in Texas, and there were a couple of others. I worked in maybe 5 different orchards when I was doing my master's down in South Texas. Um, Texas Olive Ranch was the big one, and I think
Yeah.
still is. The industry is not super strong here.
The weather's been changing so much. They used to be a lot more cold tolerant. They're not as much anymore.
Well, so olives tend to be cold tolerant to about 28. So down in the Rio Grande Valley, most years you get away with that, you know. But we've had some of these big cold snaps where it was 14 degrees on the coast.
It wipes them out.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
They'll like put they've got big wind turbines like in vineyards. They'll do smudge pots and all kinds of other stuff, but
there's only so much you can do.
Only so much you can do.
Which is crazy. I mean, climate change is affecting everything. It's so weird.
Absolutely.
Because we used to have like citrus that we'd leave out every year that like in the ground that just come back next year. You know, it's in and everything. It's just
you won't believe what hydrogen.
It's a jump scare every time, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Did you know if you grab a red onion, roughly dice it up, put in some.
Dude, he is doing some like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon effects on this stuff. He's adding sound effects.
The sound effects get me.
On a container or bowl, then grab 2 garlic cloves, dice them up, and add them in. Add 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper.
What do you think he's doing here?
It's got to be a fertilizer, right? Like he's got to be making some kind of fertilizer or.
Oh, it's a DIY bug spray. Here we go.
Oh, bug spray. Okay.
Stick it in the fridge and let it sit there for about 12 hours.
Exactly 12 hours.
Okay.
12 hours is the time it takes to
Okay.
make a bug spray in the fridge from this crap he chopped up in his
Today.
Oh.
Did you know if you grab a red onion, termites and other types of insects away from your plants, spray it directly on the leaf, all natural, non-toxic bug spray. This is going to keep away aphids, slugs, spider mites, and other types of insects away from your plants. Spray it directly on the leaves of your plants and watch the magic happen. So don't buy those crazy expensive insecticides at the store. Just make your own right at home.
I don't think so.
I want this to be my screensaver.
Your lock screen. People are like, what's your lock screen? Like, what's this guy? Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Let's dissect. Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's the name I was looking for earlier. Let's dissect this a little bit. So, capsaicin and the cayenne pepper powder, the onions and the garlic. Like, what is going on here for insecticides?
You know, all of those things are technically insecticides in the plants. The allicin in the onions and the garlic, the capsaicic acid in peppers. But I don't think, like, most of the time it has to be ingested by the insect, right? They're going to start to chew on it and then either they'll die or they'll get, driven away.
It's systemic.
It's a systemic kind of thing. You may get some repelling out of it. You may repel them a little bit, but you have to also be careful with like applying some of these acids and oils and things to your leaves. Like you can actually get leaf burn with a lot of this stuff. Again, is it going to hurt anything? Your house is going to smell weird.
Really weird. Well, I mean, after 12, is it 12 hours? You said?
Yeah.
Is that even? Would that even be enough to
I don't
pickle?
know.
Like, I mean,
no, it wouldn't pickle anything, but it would. Just think about spraying your house down with like onions and garlic, and like
sounds terrible.
Yeah, I don't think so. So it may repel them a little bit. It doesn't take a lot to kill an aphid.
And there's a difference between repellent and like a killer. Like repelling is one thing. Killing an aphid is different. If it's not gonna on contact, is it gonna kill it? No.
I don't think so. It may dry them out a little bit. In fact, most like horticultural oils, that's the whole point. Is it like either plugs up their spiracles so they can't breathe, or it dries them out.
Yeah.
And so you could get some effect out of it. I think you would be better off using like a neem oil or something like that.
There's so many oils nowadays, like even peppermint oil and things like that. Like Michael at Smith's Garden Town was talking about that, like peppermint oil and things like that.
Even like a safer soap, that uses like ivory soap and a couple of other things. Like that's probably a way better solution. It's easier to make than this. And it smells fine. Like it actually smells kind of good. So I would recommend
your house.
It'll stink up your house, and I don't think you're going to get the effect you want out of it. I would recommend if you're looking for like a non-synthetic or like insecticide product, use a safer soap. Um,
'Cause
even like for
that's insecticidal soap. It's a really
yes,
soapy
right,
soap.
insecticidal soap. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's effective. Like it works pretty good. And
That,
it's
glassy wing sharpshooters, I had an issue with that, and that was the only thing I found that would work against them.
yeah. And there's a ton of recipes online for that. You just look it up and you can make it. You probably already have the stuff laying around your house to make it. Um, and it works great.
Well, and he says insecticides, like he made an insecticide. Like he talks about not
Yeah.
using an insecticide, he made an insecticide. Like it's just that you didn't
That-
go out and buy it,
Buy
but
one,
you made,
right?
but you made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll finish this. We'll let him finish this out, and then we'll close it out, Vikram. Oh shoot! Oh my God.
Did you know if you grab a red onion, rough cup of olive oil, with a teaspoon of dish? Oh! Did you know if you mix a half a cup of olive oil with a teaspoon of dish soap, and pour it into a spray bottle, fill it up with water, close it, and then give it a good shake? What you have right now is a homemade, natural, chemical-free bug spray.
Not chemical free.
Nope.
Full of chemicals.
And for one, that's a Dawn Power Wash spray bottle. So it was sitting in the Dawn Power Wash was sitting in there, so he's got some remnants of that for sure. Because that stuff was the soapiest soap you've ever soaped.
And he just made an insecticidal soap. And again, like there's
Why
other
olive
things you
oil
can add.
though? It's so much
I
more
wouldn't use olive
expensive,
oil.
and so much more expensive than like just neem oil or something. Like, why would you do?
I know. And like all of this sounds really good, right? It's chemical free. Okay, it's not. It's absolutely not. If it was chemical free, it wouldn't do anything, right? It would be like that doesn't make any sense. That's a buzzword that catches
Yes.
people online. But like look at the video. It has 32,000 likes and like 300 something comments. And so what's interesting is people are looking for this kind of thing. And because he's high energy and like he says things like don't buy the chemicals, make this chemical free thing, when there's about a dozen different things you can mix up for cheaper that would be more effective that also are not chemical free, because again that's not a thing, but fit into that same category of like low
Yes.
toxicity, not a synthetic insecticide, that would do the job.
And like you said, olive oil is probably the last oil because olive oil
I would
has a higher rancidity, right? Like it'll
Yep.
go rancid
Oh yeah.
quicker. Because I remember using like avocado oil for certain things because it is a higher level. So it was. Oh, I know what it was for. It was for cutting boards.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So like you wouldn't want to use like olive oil to like coat your cutting board because it goes rancid faster. But
Yep.
like an avocado oil, you can use it and it's safer because it doesn't go rancid as fast as like an olive oil.
And I actually use for my cutting board. So I make cutting boards, and I've done it for years.
Yeah.
And I've made my own like conditioner mix, and I'll use a food grade mineral oil with some beeswax and a couple of drops of orange oil. Like it's not going to go rancid. It's pretty neutral, but it'll season it well, seal it up. Like that's, and you can buy like 2 gallons of mineral oil for like nothing. Like it's so cheap.
Yeah. Yeah. I use walrus oil.
Oh yeah, that's great stuff.
Yeah. Yes. It's a mostly mineral oil, but like you were saying, like you can use it, get it as a pomade or like a bottle. Like yeah, it's good stuff.
It's a great conditioner.
Spray it on the soil, around your plants, on your plants. This bug spray is going to help you away aphids, mites, whiteflies, beetles, and other types of insects away from your
Beetles?
Yeah, I don't know about the beetles.
So I will say that most of my comments I get are like, how do I keep away things like squash bugs or
Yeah.
leaf-footed bugs? Nothing besides like a pyrethrin is going to help against those hard exoskeletons. Like
Yeah, they don't care.
yeah, you could pour a bottle of neem oil on top of a freaking leaf-footed bug, and it'll laugh at you and spit in your face.
Yep.
Like you got to use a pyrethrin or something a little bit stronger, or that hard exoskeleton. They do not care. They will laugh in your face.
Or you have to catch them super early at one of their like earlier life stages and early
In the
instar or
nymph
whatever.
stage, yeah.
But
But like
once they're adults, yeah, you have to either squish them vacuum them off or use something like a pyrethrin.
Yeah, because that's what's going to penetrate that exoskeleton, like with squash bugs. It's just not feasible. Like the olive oil and
it's not gonna do anything. They don't care.
No, I mean you're still gonna have aphids after this too. I do like his big Yersinia in the back. That's really nice.
Plants. You don't need to buy those insecticides at the store.
When you can make them in your own home. Vikram, this was really fun, dude. I really appreciate you giving us the time, dude. We're gonna have to make like a regular thing out of this, like where me and you, kind of. It's kind of a rip on what you do on a normal basis, but like, let people know if they're just now tuning in, like what you are. Like, you're a professor at Texas Tech, and you do this kind of content most of the time.
Yeah, so yep, I'm a plant prof. You can find me all over the place. I'm a professor at Tech. I teach intro horticulture, sustainable vegetable crops. I'm teaching sustainable fruit and nut crop production in the spring. And then, because I'm an idiot, I'm picking up 2 more classes. And so in the fall, next fall, I'll be teaching native plants in urban landscapes, which I'm really excited about. And then I think in the following spring, I'm actually co-teaching with the history department, and we're going to do a learning with the land and talk about like the ecological history of our region. And actually
That's
get
awesome.
to go like do field trips to a state park and like have like a iNaturalist assignment where they'll go and like have to categorize plants and do some research. So it'll be a lot of fun. I have a podcast called Planthropology, which you can find anywhere. And
the link is in the details down below.
Very cool. And then I'm all over the place as the plant prof.
And we're going to try to get Vikram on more often on the garden party coming into next year, because he is just a wealth of, like I was telling people last week, I was like, it's always nice to see you got a doctor, in the chat with you. So it's nice to have someone say like the smart things, because I say so many dumb things. It's nice to have the smart guy in there. So I really appreciate it, Vikram. Guys, thank you so much. We will be back on again next Tuesday, which, dude, December is flown by. Like next week is Christmas. Like
it's crazy.
This is wild. So we'll be back on next Tuesday. I hope you all have a great Christmas if you don't see us between now and then, but we'll see you next week. Vikram, hold up in the stream and we'll talk afterwards.
This is the garden party, and we want a garden party with you. We talk about the plants we grow and some things you might not know. The garden party.